What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and this is my plea to the top fighters of 147-pound welterweight division. Will someone please give Errol Spence a fight? You know what I mean? Give this guy a fight. If you can fight him and you feel you can beat him, please shut him up. Or if you can't, let him do what he's supposed to do. You know, because what's going to happen with Errol Spence is, you know, he has a fan base. That's great. He's a champion now. He's the IBF champion. That's wonderful. But at the same time, he has not been tested the way he's supposed to have been tested. Okay? He has not. He is the guy that is unavoided. That's it. You know, and he has a string of names that are known names, but they weren't like the best top fighters. He don't have a Garcia or a Porter or a Thurman, or he doesn't have any of that. He has an Algieri, a Samuel Vargas, and a Kell Brook. That's the top main people that he's fought. That's it. A lot of those guys got beat by better opposition by now. You know what I mean? It would be different if he had a Khan on there. You know what I mean? Because a Khan, you know, that's a pretty good name. But, you know, it is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? Because of the loss that may be, Danny Garcia happened to knock him out, and, you know, or stop Khan, you know, and that win. You know, but then he has not fought anyone at that division. And if all these guys are on this side of the street, there should not be any problem on reason why they cannot fight. Keith Thurman doesn't want to fight because, look, Keith Thurman is not even hungry no more. He don't want that. He don't want that smoke, and he ain't going to fight Errol Spence until it's necessary, until it makes business sense to him. You know what I mean? Because he's still looking at himself and looking at Errol Spence like, dude, I got 2 or 3 notches above you still. You know what I mean? I fought guys that you have yet to get a fight with. You know, and that's Keith Thurman's mindset. You know what I mean? I'm injured. See? I'm injured. See, yeah, I'm injured right here. I can't fight you. I don't want none. I gotta fight 2 other guys to get my mojo back. He ain't trying to fight Errol Spence, you know? And then Errol Spence, yes, he has a fan base, but no, he's not big enough. And no, he wouldn't be the A-side against Terence Crawford, a guy that he claims, oh, well, yeah, I'll fight, but the excuse is he's on the other side of the street. So he don't want none of Terence Crawford either. And the only way that fight's going to happen if Errol Spence beats Danny Garcia or Shawn Porter. If he does that and unifies something, you know, he has to unify a belt before Errol Spence is considered that top guy at welterweight. He's the boogeyman, but that don't make him the top guy. He's the most unavoided, but that don't make him the top guy. Luis Ortiz was that unavoided boogeyman for a while, but that didn't make him the top guy until he fought everyone. He just fought Wilder. Wilder caught him, you know, with his power. You know, he caught him with that right hand, you know, and that's a whole nother story. You know, I don't really want to get into that because I've covered that too many times. But he was considered that boogeyman at heavyweight, but that didn't mean he was the best. You know, he's probably one of the best. But how good is he until he fights the other people at that division? Until he fights Joshua, White, Parker. No one will know. He would just be unavoided, just like Errol Spence is right now in the welterweight division. You know, just because he's knocking out guys and, you know, and his resume's looking better and the opposition ain't bad. You know, Chris Algieri ain't a bad fighter, a no-name fighter. He went 12 rounds with Pacquiao. Got knocked down 6 times, but he still went 12 rounds with Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Samuel Vargas, he got knocked out by Danny Garcia. You know, well, that Danny Garcia knocked him out after Errol Spence knocked him out. Who else? Kell Brook. Kell Brook beat Shawn Porter. So, he could argue that, but he ain't been in there with Shawn Porter. You know what I mean? And Shawn Porter has held his own. Shawn Porter is that guy now. He got that strap back. He got another belt. You know, he was the IBF. Now he's the WBC. Okay? So, yeah, he got that strap back. So, you know, again, until he gets in there with Shawn Porter, and Shawn Porter has all those mandatories, Aha! See, that's what happens. Because he runs into a roadblock looking at Terence Crawford across the street saying, I can't fight you because I'm over here. You need to come over here. Now, why would he mess up his money? You know what I mean? You knew Terence Crawford was with ESPN when he first came on the scene. Will you think just because he wipes out a whole division at 140, he's going to come to 147 and sign with somebody like Al Heyman? Why would he do that? Why would he be that new kid on the block with a whole different promotional company after building rapport with Top Rank? Even though I think Bob Arum should really have treated him better, like he should have treated Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather better when he had him under his stable of fighters. But he is still getting the amount of money. No, he's not getting as much as Pacquiao. No, he's not. But he's still getting enough to stay loyal to the place that he's at. And and that's a business call. Errol Spence can't get mad at Terence Crawford for making a legitimate, lucrative business decision. And then make that as an excuse. You can't fight him, but you're your own boss. Come on, man. Make that make sense. You know what I mean? But now Keith Thurman don't want to fight you. Danny Garcia, he could fight Danny Garcia, but he's after Shawn Porter. Well, you can't get Shawn Porter now because he has all those mandatories. You know what I mean? So, okay, that really don't leave you too many options. He could always go to 154 and fight Brook. He says when Brook gets a strap, I'll come to 154 and fight you. But he said the same thing about Terence Crawford. Oh, he has to have Jeff Horn issues. Get the WBO first. Remember he said that? He has the WBO. But now, you're across the street. But I want to fight with these guys. These guys these are over here with me, but you can't fight them either, obviously. So what else is it now? What's the excuse now? Because that's the only way that Errol Spence is going to get the notoriety, the fan base, that recognition, the amount of money, the reputation to bring both of those networks together to bring enough money to the table for it to make sense. Because as of right now, they got a guy that is a IBF champion, that is an Al Heyman. He works with Fox and Showtime. So yeah, you work with Al Heyman too. That's what you're saying. So you're not your own boss, obviously, if you made an excuse like that. And it's a legitimate one. Mind you, I'm not saying it's not legitimate. I think it's not. But, I can't prove that it's not. That's the whole thing about it. I can't prove that it's not legitimate, his claim. But it seems like an excuse to me. But still, be that as it may, that still does not make enough sense to bring these two guys together. Terence Crawford's going to be the A side. He's the undisputed champion. That's something Pretty Boy Floyd didn't even do. He done at 140. Took out everyone. Right? So, yeah, he's coming in then with his first fight at 147. He didn't need a tune-up. He came there and took that strap from Jeff Horn, stopped him in 9, something Pacquiao couldn't do. Think about it, man. You know what I mean? And none of them other fighters have fought Jeff Horn, so they don't know how good they'll do against him. I would like to see Jeff Horn and Danny Garcia go at it. Or better yet, Danny Garcia and Spence. Since Spence can't get that fight with Shawn Porter right now, he could get a fight with Danny Garcia. He could do that. That's if Danny wants to fight him. But I think Danny, wants to get over that second loss because I think, you know what I mean? And both of those fights he just didn't get beat up. I mean, well, Shawn did rough him up. You know what I'm saying? He did go in there and rough him. He did get beat up a little bit. He did. But, I mean, it was a close enough fight because Danny was landing effective shots, too. That's where I'm getting at. But, the Keith Thurman fight, I think, beat him more decisively. It's just two different guys with two different styles. Danny's not protected no more, obviously. So I think if, the sink or swim, the last hoorah for Danny Garcia, throw him in there with Spence. Give Spence that opportunity to get that Danny Garcia under his belt. You know what I mean? So if he can't fight the guys that he wants to fight, he can at least fight the people that the guys that he wants to fight beat. You know what I'm saying? So, because Keith Thurman has beat Danny Garcia along with Shawn Porter. So if he can't fight Shawn Porter or Keith Thurman, go ahead and take the fight with Danny Garcia. That would only make more sense. You know what I'm saying? So to me, then you could say, hey, I beat the the ex or former WBC champion. You know what I mean? Danny Garcia. Who else you got? You know what I mean? Then he might get a fight with Khan. Okay, then he knocks out Khan. Oh, well, now your resume's looking like something. You see what I'm saying? But the only problem is you ain't unified any division like Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? So, but it would be an argument, a debate for a legitimate sit down because now you have two superpowers. Okay? You have China, then you have the United States. You know what I mean? You don't want to have the United States and what's a small place? I don't want to offend no one. So anyway, but you want to have someone, United States in a smaller country that doesn't hold weight. You know what I mean? So it's hard to do business because the other country doesn't have much to offer. That's what Errol Spence is right now. He has the IBF belt. That's it. That's all he has right now. So until he does something that sparks interest for a fight for two networks to come together, that fight won't be made. It's going to be excuses and it's on, but let me leave you guys with this. If Errol Spence brags on the idea that he's his own boss, he should be able to make his own shots. He should be able to, if he can beat Terence Crawford that easy, like he says, a lot of guys are drinking his Kool-Aid. They believe he's this. They believe he's that. Well, if you, Errol Spence, believe you can beat Terence Crawford, why don't you go ahead and make that fight? You know what I mean? And these guys on your side of the street that's not fighting you, hey, go to the other side of the street. You know what I'm saying? Go on another block. Or whatever, make that fight because I feel the same. If these guys really feel that they can beat each other, these fights wouldn't have any resistance being made. And that's where I'm going to leave it, because a lot of these guys that are supposed to boogeymans are the strongest and the toughest in these divisions, man, they have so much resistance and so much reluctancy in fighting the best that it's just retarded. And then when you start ripping layers and start looking into certain things and asking certain questions, you're getting the kind of answers that don't really make sense. And that's what I'm looking at right now. But that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. So you guys should tell me what you think, who you think Errol Spence should fight. Should he fight Terence Crawford? Should he wait to fight those two champion holders? Should he fight the loser out of those two, Danny Garcia? What should he do? Should he move up? You guys tell me. And until then, you guys been counterpunched. Peace.